What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Dolphin Chronicles presented by Kendu Sports Network. I am Johnny Cruz. I am the Yankee fan, and of course, I am here with my boys Byron and Alex. Gentlemen, how you guys doing today?
Doing all right, doing all right.
A lot better than last week.
Yes, victory Monday, finally. After 3 horrible weeks, our Dolphins pulled out a nice victory. Well, I don't know how nice it is, but a win is a win. 15-10 over the hated Patriots of New England. So, of course, we're all here to discuss it. If you're new to the show, hit the subscribe button, smash that like. Make sure you turn on notifications so you know whenever we are going live. Gonna run through the scores real quick so that way we can get into our game. It started out Thursday night. Atlanta with a nice comeback over the Buccaneers, 36-30. That game was hella fun. Not gonna front, even though I'm down here in Tampa and a lot of Buc fans was feeling it the last several days. The Jets go down in London to the Vikings 23-17. The Chicago Bears win 36-10 over the pathetic Panthers. My dumbass actually thought that the Panthers would be able to cover. So yeah, that shows how much I'm good at gambling. So if I give you gambling advice, do not listen to me. The Browns go down to the Commanders. Shout out to Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. That kid is playing well. I was a little questionable about Dan Quinn, but props to them. They're handling their business, bro.
You guys remember when I said it on one of our shows that the Commanders are going to be a force to reckon with in the NFC East?
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. They're definitely, in my opinion, they're the best team in the NFC East. We'll see, you know what I'm saying, if they can keep it going, but they absolutely beat down the Cleveland Browns at home. Again, our Miami Dolphins with a 15-10 win in New England. Jacksonville gets off the schneid and finally wins a game 37-34 over the Colts, who we will see.
Suicide League.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about the Suicide League. All I do is, if we were playing to lose, then I'm on a hot streak. So I've lost 3 weeks in a row. But we will be at the Colts. We will be at the Colts in a couple weeks after this bye week. The Houston Texans with a 23-20 win over the Buffalo Bills with one of the stupidest and most questionable decisions by Buffalo to throw 3 straight passes out of their own end zone to end that game. And that's not even touching on the whole Josh Allen got put to sleep thing. We'll probably touch on that a little bit too. Yeah. The Ravens with a 41-38 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are 1-4, which is wild. The Denver Broncos.
They had a chance, man.
Yeah, they did.
McPherson missed.
And you notice how the holder kind of fumbled the ball a little bit there on that kick. So that's what caused it. But it's funny how the Bengals don't get as much criticism as our beloved Dolphins do whenever there's issues like this. But I digress. It is what it is. The Denver Broncos have won 3 games in a row with a 34-18 beatdown of the Raiders.
Quarterback Bo Nix, watch out for Bo.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what they're asking him to do. They're playing good defense. They're running the ball. So shout out to the Broncos Nation and those uniforms. They went to their throwbacks and they were nice. I ain't even gonna front. The Arizona Cardinals with a stunner 24-23 over the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. Kyler Murray looked good in that game. The G-Men, the New York Football Giants, with a 29-20 win over the Seattle Seahawks. That was a wild one there as well. The Green Bay Packers 24-19 over the LA Rams.
Man, who picked up Tucker Kraft?
Yeah, yes. The Dallas Cowboys eked out a victory last night over the Pittsburgh Steelers after a hell of a delay. I didn't even stay up to watch that. And then, of course, tonight the Chiefs will hold the New Orleans Saints. So that is your quick rundown on all the scores of this past weekend in the NFL. And again, we ended with tonight the Chiefs and Saints. But back to our Dolphins. 15-10. It wasn't the prettiest game ever. But the Dolphins finally did what they had to do. I'm sure we're going to touch on it a lot, but oh my God, it was so nice to see us actually running the freaking football, specifically on that last drive towards the end of the third, beginning or in the fourth quarter. Actually, we drove down the field 80 yards and scored a touchdown, running the ball primarily, and we win the game 15-10. It got a little dicey there at the end with New England going down the field, but we were able to make a stop. and win the game 15-10. Initial thoughts on the game. I'll start with you, Alex, since the super producer is clearly doing some work behind the scenes.
I'm calculating.
Right in front of the scenes, I should say.
Front of the scenes.
Overall thoughts on us getting this win.
Hey man, like you said, Johnny, it wasn't pretty, but when you're going through what the Dolphins have gone through already this season, so early in the season, a win like this against a division rival is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just goes a long way, long way. This could possibly turn the tide. This could create some sort of urgency in the locker room if there wasn't already some there. The veterans, I don't know if you saw the video of Calais Campbell in the locker room, breaking us up or he said, hey, this is a tide turner. This one's going to turn the tide. So things like that are what you need when you have a team that's going through some shit right now. Quite frankly, virtually on a fourth-string quarterback, right? Because we didn't have Snoop at the beginning of the year, so you're down Tua, you're down Skyler, you're down Boyle, and now Snoop. So a win like this is huge. They showed some resilience. That defensive group continues to keep us in ball games.
Yeah.
Despite some injuries in the defense as well. Now, given we got some guys back, we got a David Long back, we got Kendall Fuller back.
We lost a couple pieces.
Dealing with the Javon Holland injury, which kind of sucks. But let's be honest, Holland wasn't really impressing me a whole lot so far this season.
Oh, I disagree.
Be careful, boy. You're gonna have a whole patch of Dolphin fans coming at you.
I don't know, man. I like the kid, man. But he hasn't. I mean, he's kind of. He's all
right.
He makes plays that don't really show up on the stat sheet.
Right. I'm with you on that one, Byron.
I need more of the stat sheet show-uppers.
I second that. I concur with Alex on that one. I like Javon Holland. For the most part, he makes the plays that he's supposed to make, but I need more from a supposed top 2, top 3 safety in the league. You know what I'm saying? Can I get a pick? Can I get a big hit? Yes, the fumble against the Jacksonville Jaguars was huge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
I haven't heard much since then.
Right. I need some more impact plays, but again, he does handle his job well. He needs to do a little bit better, in my opinion, on some of his angles that he takes to go after the ball, the ball carrier. But for the most part, he's played well. I think he's dealing with a broken hand.
Yeah, a broken bone in his hand.
A broken bone in his hand.
Hey man, what a better time! You couldn't have asked for a better time for a bye week, right? You have some guys that came back that could continue to maybe get back to 100%, like a Teron Armstead. Although we got I guess all of them this last game. Robert Jones had a great performance that was kind of flew under the radar, but great performance.
He needed it too, man. The whole offensive line needed a better performance after the way they had been playing the first couple weeks. Let's touch on Snoop. You mentioned Snoop. Let's touch on Snoop a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't great, but I thought he made some really good throws.
We getting a viewer calling in to share some.
No, not yet.
We'll get to that point. We'll get to that point eventually.
That would have been cool. That
would have been nice. We'll get to that point eventually. We'll have callers calling in, but
it'll be soon.
Yeah. Overall, Huntley's numbers: 18 to 31, 194 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. He ran the ball 3 times for 7 yards, but I thought he played fairly well. And you know what I'm saying? Guys got to make plays for him at the same time too. You know what I'm saying? We had a few drops, some very untimely holding penalties, even though when you rewatch it, some of them were really ticky-tack, especially that the one on Julian Hill on the big run that Jalen Wright had. Like, I mean, you could call that on every freaking play, man. Like,
kudos to the rook Jalen Wright, man. Average like over 6 yards a tote or something like that.
Yeah, I want to say it was like 6.2 or something like that.
That was the calculations that I was making. Jalen Wright averaged 6.6.
There you go.
6.6, even better.
That's great. I hope that's a sign of things to come. Right? We can, you know, his vision, his patience. He showed some great patience on some of those runs, following his blocks. You know, the kid is playing well beyond his years, and I hope that we can continue to reward him with some touches. Now that E.18, you know, may miss time with a concussion. Who knows? He might be back. But Mostert, you saw some of those fresh legs. It looked like Mostert had a couple runs where you were like, oh shit, it's Mostert from last year. Not quite, right? But you saw
he ran hard. He ran hard. You could tell he was running hard. They all seem to run with a purpose. I got a question for the group here. Now, I understand we got Raheem Mostert back. Please tell me that that's not the only reason why we finally started to run the ball is because Mike McDaniel felt more comfortable with Raheem Mostert as opposed to running Jalen Wright more in the last couple weeks.
Maybe a little bit.
Well, then that's sad if we're that dependent on a 31-year-old running back, bro.
But remember, there was that question whether E.18 could run between the tackles. He was more of a outside guy. Hit the outside.
Right. I mean, I did read something to where, as far as Jalen Wright, maybe he didn't have a complete grasp of the playbook, but at the same time, I mean, bro, just hit the hole. I mean, he did a great job yesterday. You know, he puts that foot in the ground and he makes that cut. Yeah, he's quick. You know what I'm saying? He was this close to breaking a few bigger runs. But I like how hard he runs. I like the stable that we have of running backs. I mean, of course, Achan's a little banged up right now. Hopefully he's okay from that concussion. But I feel okay if we wind up going into we got the bye week. If for whatever reason Achan can't play come Indy, I'm okay with Raheem, Jalen Wright, and Jeff Wilson. You know what I'm saying? But Byron, what's your thoughts on how Snoop played and your overall thoughts on us getting this much needed victory? I agree with Alex. This was definitely needed for the locker room.
Yeah, so I thought Snoop played well. Like you mentioned, Johnny, a lot of timely hiccups that worked against him. I know Waddle dropped the pass that was right on the money. He had one go through his hands that wasn't counted as a drop. And then I forgot what tight end he hit, and he was falling backwards, and he totally dropped the ball as well. And that would have been humongous.
I think that might have been Julian Hill.
I'm not sure who it was, but he hit a tight end. He scrambled and he hit the tight end over the defense, and just I thought he played well. If we can continue giving him the quick throws and stop giving him the Tua developing down the field throws that force him to hold it and force that O-line to have to be that like perfect, I think we're gonna be okay. As far as the running backs, Jalen Wright on 13 carries, so it's a pretty good sample size, 6.6 yards a carry.
That's awesome, bro.
And that was what, 80-something yards?
86 yards.
Devin Achan, 6 yards a carry. It was only 3, but still 6 yards a carry. Mostert, who had 19 carries, had 80 yards at 4.2. Right. So he brings the average down a bit. But
the commitment to the run is what got us that touchdown.
That's the most important part, bro. That's the most important part.
Between our 3 running backs, we had 34 carries for 100 and almost 180 yards.
Sprinkle in a couple QB nice. Almost ran the ball 40 fucking times.
Yeah, as a stable, they averaged 5.6 yards a carry.
Dude,
there you go.
You can't complain with the results, and McDaniel can't not stick with the run.
Hey,
that's what you do to help your quarterback. Run the ball.
Aside from the special teams blunders,
my God,
you take those out of the equation. I mean, we could potentially that would have been at 6. What do we leave? How many points did we leave on the field?
We left 6. We left 6, at least 6. This could have been a 10-14 point win. To be quite honest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm with you on that one there. Hopefully this opens Mike McDaniel's eyes to what we need to be doing in order to not only protect Snoop at quarterback, to help our defense out, giving them a blow and giving them time to rest by being able to run the ball.
Time of possession. How many plays was that last touchdown scoring drive?
I want to say it was double digits. I want to say it was like
11,
12 plays.
Give me a second, I got you. The last drive?
Yeah, I think it was 12 plays.
The touchdown one?
Yeah.
Yes.
15 plays, 80 yards, 7 minutes, 32 seconds.
You see what I'm saying?
15 plays. How long did it take?
Stats and info, bro.
Yeah, seven, almost 8 minutes, right?
Yeah, 7 minutes. I'll tell you right now. 7 minutes, 36 seconds.
Dude,
see?
that is how you win football games, at least right now. That's how
you want to know how you don't win football games, though?
Huh?
You want to know how you don't win football games? The drive that he had to put the game away was 26 seconds.
Say what?
Jesus, that's disgusting. The drive to try to end out the game.
Yeah.
26 seconds. That's disgusting.
Gave him a shot. Gave him a shot when they shouldn't. When they didn't need to. They didn't deserve it.
Well, I mean, I understand that's not a touchdown, dude. That toe tap, like,
by a heel. Had it been on a sideline, it would have counted.
Right.
Well, I mean, had he just picked his foot up, had he just touched it with his toes and picked his foot up, that's a touchdown. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that his foot went completely down and his heel went out of bounds, it was the correct call. Sorry, Patriot fans and people out there trying to say that, you know, that the Patriots got robbed. No, they didn't. They made the right call. You say it was a hell of a catch by the rookie, but it didn't count. Effort. Yeah, hell of an effort, but it didn't count. It is what it is. But Alex, you mentioned time of possession. We had the ball for 34 minutes, 20 seconds. They had it 25.
Bro, there you go.
Two of 11 on third downs is something that we definitely need to get fixed. Go ahead, Byron.
So I'll give you this, and it's a recipe I had seen the day before, right? So you mentioned time of possession, and I feel that allowed us to put this game away, and I'll tell you why.
Because they don't get the ball as often.
I'll call the days before, because I'm talking about on Saturday, late Saturday, early Sunday morning. If y'all watch the Canes game, we had oh, sorry, wrong week. I apologize. My bad. Okay. So in the first half, and sorry, stats and info here. In the first half, Miami, their time of possession was 37 minutes to 22. But I want to say that Cal had the ball 7 minutes in the first half. And although we were down, I said that's going to pay dividends later on in the game.
Right, because our defense will be fresh.
Right. You can only stay on the field as a defense so long and put on the performance they did. And the same can be said for a New England defense. The more you spend on the field. Yeah, but the Hurricane has these people crazy. Everyone's calling, "Are you okay, bro? It hasn't even started yet. Don't worry."
Bro, hasn't made landfall. Calm down. I'll tell you in a minute.
Exactly. So our prolonged drives are a blessing not only to a defense that has to step up and play to keep them fresh, but also wear and tear on those defenses late to be able to punch in a touchdown.
Right. Yeah, I'm completely with you on that. I mean, this is something all three of us have been banging on the table for the last 3 weeks, is for them to have more of a commitment to the run. So like I was mentioning to Alex when you went away for a second, hopefully this is something that Mike McDaniel will remember and continue to use going forward. Obviously, we got the bye week coming up, so it's an extra week that Snoop and this offense will have.
Even when Tua comes back.
That's exactly where I was going, Alex. You have this whole thing that we were hearing about during training camp and stuff like that about wanting to be the way you're tough is imposing your will on the other team by running the ball. So if you're physical with the other team, you're running the ball. Not only do you protect a young quarterback like a Snoop who's learning the offense, but even you can protect your starting quarterback in Tua by establishing the running game, making the defense have to defend a run. It makes it easier on him for the play action and stuff like that. Plus, again, we gave up a third-round pick to move up to get this kid Jalen Wright, to add him with E.18 and Mostert. I was expecting us to just be a run heavy team from jump, and that's not what we were. Well, I
Not
mean,
with McDaniel.
yeah, but again, like, do you want to win or do you want to just be all flashy, McDaniel? That's
Right.
where you're saying, like, you're saying you're gonna have to make up your mind.
Balance. It's a delicate balance because you know
Right.
the aerial attack is there as soon as Tua comes back. You
Right.
know it's
And
gonna, you know
but that-
you know he's going to hit his weapons, right? But in order to win in the postseason, you have to run the football.
Absolutely.
You have to finish drives. You have to impose your will. You have
Right.
to win the battle of the trenches.
I completely agree.
And here's what I see. It's a go up to your offensive line and tell them, you don't have to run block. You don't have to get hit. We're going to run the football. Go get nasty with some guys.
Right.
Go hit somebody.
Right.
You control the game. You go out and you have some fun. Don't
Right.
be the guys pass protecting, getting hit, getting
Right.
slammed, getting knocked back. No. Line up, get into those stances, and exactly go out and hit somebody.
Yeah, and hit the guy in front of you. Yes.
Give me some damn pads right now.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And again, he was the run game coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. Like, that's supposed to be his background, is about running the football. So again, if you can actually
like you
have
said,
a running,
he got in his head, he got a little cute. They put
I'm saying, I understand. Yes, it's nice. It's nice having Tyreek and Waddle, but just imagine how much more effective they can be if the defense has to respect the running game.
Yeah,
you're saying that's just going to give you better opportunities.
What happens when they respect the run game? They cheat up,
right?
And here's the problem.
Right.
Perspective is everything. Because I saw this tweet, and then I'm like, damn, that he's right. McDaniel's worst run game, which we think we've seen, is better than Brian Flores' best run game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
That's true.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But we've fallen enamored with the pass, and it works so well that you kind of have this habit of wanting to go through it.
Right.
But you need to establish that run game, those reps for that O-line to understand what it is necessary to run the football so that when you get to the postseason, it's not a foreign concept to them.
Right.
The concepts that might be used against them to stop the run.
Yeah.
Completely agree. Well said. Obviously, we're all in agreement about that. You'll say we love the fact that they were running the ball. We mentioned E.18 down with a concussion. We don't know how long that's going to be, so we'll have to see how that turns out.
Well, if he was playing on the Bills, he would have been in on the next series.
Yeah, I mean that's some craziness. I mean, we might as well touch on it right now. The hell with it. Josh Allen got put to sleep, bro.
Yeah,
because his head banged the ground hard, and he was just laying flat on his face.
He was out.
Yeah, he was laying flat on his face. They got him up, took him to the sidelines. They went hella old school, right? They pulled out the smelling salt and just kind of gave him a whiff and threw him right back in there. Yeah. And then that final series, like I was talking about when I was doing the rundown of the scores, it's a tie ball game with about a minute left. The Houston Texans with a beautiful punt downed it at the 2-yard line, and Buffalo throws 3 straight passes, all incomplete, all badly incomplete as well. Wasted no time, and then punted the ball to Houston, which basically gave it to them at midfield, and they go down the field a little bit, kick a field goal, they win the game. Like, why aren't you running the ball to kill the clock? Like, I don't understand what thinking. So what are you guys' thoughts on the fact that, you know what I'm saying, Teddy Bridgewater gets spotted by somebody, you know, as possibly having a concussion last year. He's out of the game. Josh Allen dribbled his head again on the turf, basically, and was clearly knocked out. And he's right back in the game.
And by the way, Teddy Bridgewater got right back up.
Right.
He wasn't laying flat on the I don't understand.
So I mean, it's been a topic of conversation. I just wanted to see if you guys had anything to if you wanted to touch on it at all. Any thoughts on that whole process that happened? I mean, I never feel bad when Buffalo loses, but you know what I'm saying, I don't want the kid to obviously be hurt. But that to me felt like all kinds of malpractice to just throw homeboy right back out there on the field.
That was a disservice to him for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's my thoughts. This season, we've seen a few coaching
blunders,
not mishaps, but just questionable things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Richardson hurt his hip.
Yeah.
Came out, came back in, whatever. Yeah. But how are you going to call a QB run on that first play? He comes in after hurting his hip.
Yeah.
You see Josh Allen, his head dribbles on the floor. Yeah. He comes back in after smelling salts. And then all of a sudden, you call 3 passes. And then during the Jets game, Aaron Rodgers dies on the field. He gets taken to a sideline.
On his way to the medical tent.
And then all of a sudden,
shit, give me the helmet.
Yep, there's a flag. Oh, come back in the game. That's it.
Yeah,
and nobody's questioning anything.
The drive on a roughing the punter. Yeah,
and nobody questions anything.
Nobody.
Oh, but
and that guy's 40
incorrectly, and the CDC is being called.
Right.
Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely feels like a bit of a double standard when it comes to Tua compared to other players in this league. Anyway, I hope Josh Allen is okay. Again, I question the way they handled that there. You want to make sure that the kid is safe. He's still a young man, and again, he was asleep. But whatever. They lost the game there. They're 3-2. So somehow, with our victory, we're just one game back. We're tied for second place in the AFC East, which is crazy.
And we're second in the division.
Yeah, we're second in the division after having 3 straight horrible losses. But we found a way to win this game. Thanks in not much part to this awful special teams. Sanders, you know what I'm saying, hit a deep field goal, 50 plus, and then misses one from 41 yards.
Right?
Time to sign a kicker to bring in competition, and time to call Kyle Ulbrich. Just saying.
Yeah, we've been pounding on the table for that. Shout out to Kyle Ulbrich, but the young man, something he said. I mean, I have no confidence when Sanders comes into the game to kick the ball.
Hey, because
it's crazy that every other kicker.
It was how Bailey held the ball. That was a terrible hole too, and then he tried to recover, like if he was gonna have time to kick it after the fucking ball dribbled to him.
I mean that was a horrible snap by, you know what I'm saying, Blake forgot he was playing football. He thought he was bowling, so he just rolled the ball.
You mean the guy we signed only to snap the football messed up snapping the football?
Yeah. Which, I mean, for the most part, you know what I'm saying, he's done a good job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's a constant issue with his snaps, but that was freaking horrible. Right. And that was the worst timing.
But he's a long snapper. Was he on that one for the or is that the regular center?
Yeah, he snaps all of them.
So I think that's my thing. If you hold a roster spot and your sole job is to snap, I demand perfection. Otherwise, get off my roster, sign someone who can also play the offensive line, who can snap. If that's the only reason you're on this roster, I demand perfection.
I got you on that. I hear what you're saying on that, but every team has a long snapper on their squad just for snaps.
And most play the offensive line too.
I don't know. We'll have to investigate that for that'll be a project for next week for the bye week for us to discuss that or whatever. But regardless, it was a horrible snap. The special teams all around just has not looked good for the last 3 years. I don't know how Crossman keeps his job.
I don't know either, bro.
But special teams have not been great. Barrios had a nice return. Yes, the one. But we haven't seen much on punt returns or anything like that. And again, like whenever the other team comes out for a 50-plus yard field goal, it seems like they boot it right down the middle with no problem. And when Jason Sanders comes to kick,
did vindicate Sanders because he fucking shanked one too. But
yeah, true. But every time Sanders comes to kick a field goal, I'm like nervous, bro. Like to me, it's always 50-50. You know, he might make it, he might not. I don't know, but
what we really can put on Crossman is that block, that missed block by Duke Riley that got the punt blocked.
Yeah,
that can't happen.
Has a backup player ever had back-to-back horrible weeks like Duke Riley has had these last 2 weeks on special teams? Like, what are you doing last week going after that punt that almost turned the ball over in that game? and then here he lets a guy get right by him for the block on the field goal. So it's just specialty. Again, you mentioned it. There's never been a better time for a bye week than there is this week coming up now. Our Dolphins definitely needed to heal up some wounds and to try to tighten up some stuff. It gives Snoop an extra week of practice so that he can prepare himself for the Indianapolis Colts.
Phillips, bro. Again,
yeah. Dude, like I feel so bad for this kid, bro. Like he can't catch a break, bro. Like he worked so hard to get back for that Achilles, and then now an ACL.
Did he work too hard?
No, it was a contact injury.
Yeah, Jordan Poyer decided to dive. Right. He decided to dive at somebody to make a tackle instead of trying to actually make a tackle. He dove at the guy.
Very, very similar to what happened to Rashee Rice, which it may not be as serious as they initially thought.
Right. It's crazy, man. So again, the bye week definitely comes at a good time. We definitely need it. I think more for Huntley and for this offense to actually work on some stuff. Again, hopefully McDaniel watches enough of the film of this game and puts a highlight on that drive, that 15-play, 80-yard drive for 7 minutes and 36 seconds, and sees, hey, maybe we need to do a little bit more of this. After the bye week, we go to Indy to play the Colts, and then we have the home game against Arizona. And then hopefully, we don't know for sure yet, but sometime around there, hopefully we'll be getting Tua back. But we'll see how that goes. What are you guys' thoughts on the Colts coming up in 2 weeks? And do you think we get Tua back week 8, or do you think it'll be later? Just to touch on this real quick before we wrap it up.
Go ahead, Alex.
What was the question? Sorry, I was looking up. All right.
I got you. You'll know the question. Okay. Tua with the Colts. I don't think we see Tua with him. I don't think Tua plays in Indianapolis. I think Tua is going to take his time coming back. I think that there needs to be a comfort level. In terms of a gradual re-exposure to football. I think that he needs to go out in shorts and a t-shirt and feel that the running, the shaking of the head, because it's natural. You want to see how he does in shorts and a t-shirt. Then you'll probably throw on some pads in shorts. Then you'll get him through a couple of practices. I don't think it's enough of a ramp up to get to Indy. I said it from the beginning. I think the target is Thanksgiving. I think the league is going to use it as a grand, hey, Tua's coming back. Because
what is that, week 10? Is that week 10?
Yeah, I don't think Goodell can afford more of that Tua hate, because moms are seeing this. And if Tua doesn't come back, that's a problem for the league.
Yeah, either that or they'll be scared for him to be playing on national TV on Thanksgiving and say, no, wait till the week after. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Tua. I honestly don't expect him back for at least another 3 weeks. But again, we got the bye week, then we got at Indy, and then we got Arizona at home. 2 winnable games to me, Alex. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole thing can be flipped on its head if we can come away with a win against the Colts and Arizona, and somehow we're 4-3 going into week 9. I mean, that's not too bad. Or week 8, that's not too bad.
It's not at all, man. Like you said, winnable games. Indianapolis is dealing with some injuries as well. You don't know if you're going to have an Anthony Richardson back. They're also a Jonathan Taylor is battling an injury. You don't know if he's going to be back. And even if he is back, I would imagine he may not be at 100%. So very, very winnable games, of course. Our defense is going to keep you in ball games. So our offense, like you said, now you're going to have a Tyler Huntley with a little bit more time to prepare and get a better grasp on things. The potential of Tua coming back to that with that October 27th game against the Cardinals team that has looked very good and have looked very average.
Right.
so really weird, but still a team that can be explosive. Certainly a Kyler Murray when he's on his A game is very dangerous. A Marvin Harrison, a James Conner, a physical back that the Dolphins can struggle against. But two winnable games because our defense is gonna be prepared, and Anthony Weaver's gonna have those guys ready for those physical tests because Indianapolis is also a very physical team. But I'm okay with Tua coming back against Arizona. You can see that he's anxious to contribute. You see, when we were struggling on offense, you could kind of see that in his face and his emotions as he's walking the sideline there with his teammates. So man, here we thought just a week ago with that debacle against the Titans that this season was lost.
Right.
And now because of the parity in the league and because of, hey, all of a sudden, no one's really separating themselves from the competition. After the Chiefs could be 4-1. Okay.
Right.
This team is very capable of going in there and whooping that ass. Okay. So very winnable games. And then when you start to run the football and you run it successfully, like you did against the Patriots, which the Patriots D is not bad either. Let's be honest.
They got a good defense.
So I'm optimistic because I think we kind of figured something out this last game. It's nowhere near where it needs to be, but the team that we have in place now and the people that need to be making plays are making plays. Kader Kohu is starting to look like the Kader Kohu that we've seen in the past.
Marcus, is this you praising Kader Kohu, the guy you banged the table to cut?
Hey, I don't think I banged the table to cut Kader Kohu. Well, we can revisit that, but I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Okay, Kader Kohu played a great game. So a couple tackles for loss. You had Marcus May that played a great game. Emmanuel Ogbah continues to play with intensity and with fire. A tackle for loss. I think he had like 4 tackles.
Yeah, Zach Sealer. Yep.
Yeah, Zealer. There you go. So those guys up front are doing what they need to do. The defensive unit is doing what they need to do, and then you start to bring the other units along, right? Special teams fucking dragging ass back here, but you start bringing the other units along. You get an OBJ. I mean, he didn't do anything.
But still, just him being out there helps you because they have to respect that he's out there.
Exactly.
Right.
Forces attention to him.
Right.
You're gonna have the Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith had 5 receptions for like 62 yards.
He had his most productive game.
And he
very
dropped one.
productive game.
Yeah. But I mean, like I mentioned to Alex, I mentioned the fact that we got the bye week and then we got the Colts coming up and then Arizona, 2 very winnable games, and then we'll see what happens after that. I believe it's Buffalo after that. So we'll see what happens and when Tua comes back. I'm with Byron. I don't think they're gonna rush it back. I think the bye week will tell us a bit if they actually put him on the steps of the protocol where he can actually start doing some type of physical activity, but I don't think they're rushing it at all either.
Any word on Isaiah Wynn?
Nah, bro. I haven't heard anything about Isaiah Wynn at all.
He's still on a milk carton.
Right. So I think the offensive line is who we got. So, but I think
but the potential addition of an Isaiah Wynn is great as far as depth is concerned.
Absolutely.
Like that from a Robert Jones, and you have a full game from an Armstead, and you don't mention any penalties for Austin Jackson. That's great. That means that the least they're talked about, the better, right?
Absolutely.
We eliminated some of the pre-snap penalties, right, in that game against New England. You clean it up a little bit, so there's a lot to build off of off the New England win.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I'm saying, like you guys mentioned about the fact that running the ball, you're instilling in the offense to be more aggressive, the offensive line to be more aggressive against the defense. So hopefully that's something that they continue to do. Again, we got the bye week coming up next week. So we'll see. We'll have some. I'm sure Byron will come up with something fun for us to discuss next Monday night as we get ready to
go into fantasy football, man.
We can talk some fantasy football. We can talk some Canes if people want to talk Canes, but we'll definitely have plenty to talk about next Monday, 7:30. Again, If you're new, hit the subscribe, smash that like button, turn on your notifications so you know whenever we're going live. It is the bye week coming up, but we'll have some fun things to talk about. Also, make sure you check out False 9 every Thursday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. This week, it's at 7 now?
7.
Okay, so every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. And this week in Miami doesn't have a set date, but keep your eyes open for that. Again, make sure that your notifications is on, so that way you know.
Season starting up, the Heat season starting up. The Canes might be back, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, so get excited.
The Canes 6-0. Let's enjoy it. You know that Miami is doing good when the rest of the country is hating on us, and they are hating, boy. So
they're hating on the Canes.
That's when it's fun.
And a treat that maybe not this week because of the storm, but maybe next week we may have the debut of hurricane warning every Wednesday night, talking specifically about the Canes.
With Miami Manny, right?
Miami Manny coming to the house.
Little flavor, Miami Manny.
There you go, people. You heard it here first. Before we get up out of here, any last thoughts you guys got before we get ready for this bye week?
I'm just happy that we can go one game at a time with this team. It has to be that way. And I've said it before, there is no identity. There is no culture with this team. So there's nothing you can hang your hat on, which means every week is going to be different. You have no idea what you're going to get from them. It could be New England. It could be Tennessee. You don't know. And although it's aggravating, it makes it kind of fun.
We're trying to leave on a positive.
I was just about to say, dude.
I'm being honest. It is what it is.
It is.
We won a fucking game.
We did.
Right.
We built some character. There's some resilient motherfuckers in that
we showed the potential of an identity by running the rock.
Ready for Indy.
Right. Yeah.
Beat that ass. Let's
go.
So
hopefully we've established a bit of an identity by being able to run the football. So let's hope we keep that going. For everybody out there that lives in Florida, be safe with this storm coming out. Get your water that you need. Be safe out there. We will be back next Monday. Again, it's the bye week, but we'll have some fun shit to talk about for you guys next Monday night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. For Alex and Byron, I am Johnny Cruz. This is the Dolphin Chronicles. This is Kendall Sports Network. Be safe, people. Peace. This kid Byron said, I'm going to end the show by just